common question that I get is how to mix your own custom color. So it seems like a bit of a foreign concept until you try it yourself, and you'll realize how truly simple it is. So I'm going to show you how to do it, and I will paint this nail stick. I'm going to show you today this custom shade that I created that is sort of a pinky nude. So the way that I do it is when I'm prepping the nail, I will use my nail file and I'll buff the nail. Once it's buffed, I will cleanse it. Once you're finished cleansing, I open the cleanser packet up. I make sure that it's not wet inside of here, so make sure that you let it air dry. And I use this to mix my colors on. So for this color, I used a base of Lovey-Dovey. I want to keep the color nice and light, so I'm gonna drip a few drops of Lovey-Dovey onto the cleanser packet. If you're afraid that you won't have enough for a full manicure, you can always mix a little bit extra, and then you're able to just keep that either wrapped up in tin foil, or you can store it in a contact lens case or something similar to that, just as long as it isn't exposed to the light. So a little goes a long way, so you'll actually find you will maybe think that it won't get you through a whole manicure, but it probably will. So once I have the white on the cleanser packet, then I just drip a little bit of Autumn in Montreal, and I just let it drip onto the side. Then I wanted to add a little bit of pink to it, so I actually added just a drip of Ballerina. Now's when you have the choice what brush you use. So you can use one from the Creativity Kit if you want to use a different brush. I personally just choose the brush that is closest to the color of the polish that I'm going for. So to me, it's not a huge deal if I get a little bit of lighter pigment into my Autumn in Montreal bottle, because I'm always wanting a lighter nude color anyways. So with that brush, I stir and just mix right on the cleanser packet. So you can see that tiny little bit of pigment that we added into the white actually added quite a bit of color. So less is definitely more. Now when I get this color, I actually feel like it might be a little bit too dark. So in that case, and this is where you end up always having a little bit more than you may need, I would actually drop a little bit more Lovey-Dovey. I want to be careful not to get any pigment on my white brush, so I just drop it into the side, and then I'll just stir around. Then I'm going to just wipe my brush on this other side to get all of the darker pigment off, and I'll begin polishing. Once your nail is fully covered, you can cure under the lamp. And always make sure to move your bottles away from the lamp, as they are light sensitive. You'll notice with any lighter shade of polish that when you cure it, it will be a little bit off of the shade that you were originally intending. So it just needs to cool and settle, and then once it does, it'll turn back to your little bit more pinky shade. So if it looks a little bit orange, don't be worried. So then I would apply a second coat. And cure that. With this particular color that I did, And with a lot of the lighter nude colors, I like to use Champagne Toast or Tutti Cutie on top. So it just depends what shade I'm going for. I love the look of that clear coat on it that just gives it a little bit of extra gloss. So for this particular one, I topped it with Tutti Cutie. So all I did then was just apply a coat of Tutti Cutie on top, just a really thin coat, and it turned that light nude color into a little bit more of a pinky nude. As you can tell, matches pretty well. If you end up not mixing enough, your color might not be exactly the same, but you can certainly get it fairly close. So the naked eye is not gonna notice if there's just a slight difference. So don't be worried if you don't mix enough, or if you mix too much. You can always save it for touch-ups or for another polish later. And you can cure that Tutti Cutie on top and you're good to go. And there you have it. You've got your light, glossy, beautiful nude shade. So that just goes to show you how truly simple it is to mix your own custom colors. You can dream up any shade that you want. And in this case, you know, I had the Autumn in Montreal with Lovey Dovey to mix together for a light nude, but then I just wanted to add that little bit of soft pink. So I just had the tiniest drop of Ballerina added in there, and I just loved the shade that it gave me. So you can just dream up any color and combine any of your polishes, and they will make a custom shade for you. And I obviously do it in a super simplified way, but you can always mix it in a contact lens case or on your silicone mat. I just am that lazy and I just do it on my cleanser pack. And what I can actually do at this point is, what I have done in the past is I've just folded it up and kind of closed it like a tent, and it's actually kept for a few days to use for any touch-ups that I may need, and that's done really well for me. So kind of a makeshift way, but hopefully that helps you, and I hope that it inspires you to mix your own custom colors. Thanks for watching.